John Sobocinski joining us. He is the head coach for the cross-country program at Lake Lehman. And John, great to catch up with you. As always, we've gotten together over the years, and you're always producing some really good student athletes. And this year's no different, a successful year.
Yes, John, we set a goal over the summer, the boys and the girls programs together combined. We thought that 30 wins was realistic between the two programs, and we kind of knew the girls coming back would be really strong. And the goal, actually, it was a little bit of a contest between the ladies and the guys, and the guys were saying they'd win more meets, and they did win 13 meets. So combined, we ended up with exactly 30 wins on the season. So we met our goal, and I was very pleased with the young boys team and how well they came along this season.
Let's talk about some of these young ladies this year. 17-1 or something. Fantastic year.
So, yeah, 17-1. We just couldn't get over the hump. The Dallas team beat us, and a very good meet, and the girls ran their hearts out, but they just did a little better job of grouping their ladies together than we did. Our top 3 girls were out there and did some real damage in that meet, but we weren't able to group our next 2 in, and that's where Dallas beat us. But I'm really proud that we were able to put 3 girls in the state meet. So I think between Lehman and Scranton Prep, we were the only 2 teams at districts to put 3 in the top 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's talk about overall the girls working hard all year long and trying to get a little bit more out of themselves.
Yeah, well, and again, this journey always starts in the summer. If you really want a chance for this season to play out, those summer miles play dividends in the fall, and they pay off right about now. So we started in July, early July, and trained all the way through. And so the group has been, actually this year has been a lot better than last year with regard to injury. Last year we had 3 girls that had pretty reasonable injuries that they had dealt with all throughout the season. One of our girls, Jade Fry, who is here tonight, she actually had to ride her bike for a few weeks of the season last year. Still managed to qualify for states, but just wasn't herself. So we were strong this year. We did a lot of core work. I think the girls worked real hard to make sure that they weren't going to get injured. So
let's talk a little bit about coaching these young ladies and being able to coach them on the weekend where they're the state championships, and it's a very challenging course, and you know this course pretty well, and you got to get them through it and find ways to get things done, and you've had some runners in the past that have topped it. So
yes, oh yeah, we have, and you think as a coach, sometimes you go down and I've had some kids that I thought, boy, I really know what I'm doing, and I'm explaining. I had a young lady named Marina Orson who now coaches with me, and boy, I thought I explained that course well the day before. We talked about it, we strategized. She went out and medaled the next day, and I thought I was the greatest coach in the world, and wouldn't you know, years later, she actually told me that she just followed a girl from Lewisburg. So that was a funny story, but we've had other runners, Kieran Sutton and most recently Dominic Hockenberry, do some great things, and we've been able to dissect the course. It's new at this point. This is the second year for the new design of the course. So we're working out some things and trying to figure out the hills are right in the beginning, and we're just really trying to figure out how to navigate our way most efficiently through the course.
Well, John, no matter what happens this weekend, you're all smiles with the way these young men and women responded this year at Lake Lehman.
Absolutely. Very proud of them, John. Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate your time, and enjoy your weekend in Chocolate Town.
Thank you very much, John.
Jade Fry joining us from the Lake Lehman cross country team. And Jade, it's your senior year. Feels good to cap it off, I'm sure, going to Hershey. Talk about all your hard work that is paying off.
All right. Over the summer, me and my team worked really hard. running in practice every day, and in June actually I started running on my own after track season, and then in July we started meeting up and running the trail every day, going different places and just putting in some mileage. And then once the season started, we just started working hard, doing workouts, and just looking forward to the big meets like the coaches meet, districts, and states.
Let's talk about listening to your body, because you go right from track and field into preparing for cross country, and I'm sure coach has a philosophy, and maybe you're thinking, okay, I kind of like that, but talk about being able to know when to rest your body or start gearing up the miles a little bit.
All right, so after track, you're like using your fast twitch muscle fibers, and then going into cross country, you're doing distance, so it's a lot different. So usually after track, I take like 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and this year actually I had to take more off because I had a stress fracture in my left foot, so I had to take like 3 to 4 weeks off, and then I started training in June. So really it depends on like the runner, because I know some people like Dominic Hockenberry only took like a week off, but like me, I'd take more off like that.
Talk about overcoming that adversity, and your mind might be telling you one thing, your body might be telling you another, and somewhere in there, you have some family members or coaches. There's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, I think your body is only as strong as your mind. So if your mind tells you you're not going to do it, then you're not. So you have to like kind of will yourself, and the training you do in the season and off season will be there. But then if your mind says you're not going to do it, then you won't. So you just have to I feel it's more mental sport than anything.
Let's talk about track and field and some events that you competed in the spring, and of course you still got another track and field season upon you coming up in 4, 5, 6 months from now.
So I do mainly the mile and the 4x8 relay, and sometimes 800, 3200, and sometimes the 400. So I do like a lot. But this season we're gonna have a new 4x8 member, because the last 2 years it was me, Haley, Jace, Olivia. So Haley graduated, so we have to figure out who is going to be on that team. That's going to be exciting to see who's going to step up.
Let's talk a little bit about your brother, who's older, Tristan, and how you get along with him and what he's up to.
All right, so Tristan, he actually turned 22 yesterday, so that's exciting.
Cool.
And he goes to Penn State, and he goes to the Wilkes-Barre campus, and he's majoring in computer science, and he's graduating in December, so that's exciting too. He has 3 jobs, at the bowling alley, and then he has a internship at Penn State, and I think he's working at Domino's too. So he's a hardworking guy.
That's awesome to hear. Well, I think you're pretty hardworking as well, because you're 3rd in your class. So outstanding student, anatomy, physiology. Tell us a little bit about dedicating yourself in the classroom.
Well, this year I'm actually taking anatomy and physiology, which is an honors class, and it's almost like an AP class. And I'm also taking AP Spanish and AP Gov, and several other honors classes, and it's important to balance athletics with academics, and sometimes it's hard that you have to go to practice every day for 2-3 hours and then come home and do all your work, so you just have to make sure you put aside enough time, use your study halls wisely, and that's what I do.
And running cross country or track in college, have you kind of looked at any right now, or you're kind of just having open feelings?
Pretty much open feelings, but I am looking at Lafayette, Lehigh, Bucknell, University of Scranton, Shippensburg, and a lot of others. I don't really know yet. I'm actually on this Sunday, I'm going to University of Scranton to attend the open house.
Yes, and a brand new track and field program for them, so they're excited about that. Well, Jade, we appreciate your time. You go from the pizza capital of the world to Chocolate Town, USA, so enjoy your weekend coming up.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Jace Garnick joining us from Lake Lehman here on the John Mendola Show as we talk cross country. And Jace, tell us a little bit about what your senior season was like out there.
It was really good. I was really proud of myself. It was only my 3rd season, so it was cool.
How about all the hard work you did since the summer? Talk about that dedication that you had.
We practiced almost every day in the summer. We ran a lot of miles on the Back Mountain Trail and in different parks.
As far as your teammates, talk about getting along with them and say, hey, let's go for a run. This is so much fun.
My team gets along really well. We're all really close. We all have a really good time together.
How about some longer distances that you have to do when there's times you have to push yourself and put in some extra miles?
They're tough. We run 8 to 10 miles usually for our really long distance runs, but they're not too bad.
As far as the future for you, you're thinking maybe nutrition or something? Talk a little bit about where that inspiration came from.
I just really like food and watching Food Network with my mom and cooking, so I just thought it would be a really cool profession to go into.
biology and science, two of your favorite subjects.
Yeah.
You have a favorite teacher, or is it just the subject matter you enjoy?
I've liked all my science teachers, like, over the years. They're really nice.
Talk about the next level for you. You're thinking about you going to college and maybe running, either cross country or track. Why are you thinking of doing that? It's just such a passion for you?
Yeah, I really love it. So, I don't know if I'm going to run in college because I might just go to Penn State and hopefully University Park main campus, but I might run somewhere, but I'm not sure yet.
How about track and field? What are the events you compete in there?
Mostly like the relays, like the 4x4 and the 4x8 and the 800 and the 400.
Also involved with dance. Talk about how many years you've been doing that and pretty serious about it?
Yeah, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old, and I'm on a competition team at Back Mountain, and we've won lots of awards, like, as a group.
That's pretty awesome. And anybody in the family that kind of helps inspire you, whether it's in the classroom or with athletics?
My parents and like my grandparents and just my whole family.
So they're all out there supporting you, huh? Well, we wish you the best this weekend, and congratulations on a fabulous year.
Thank you.
Abby Pacheski joining us from the Lake Lehman cross-country team and soccer team. And you're a busy young lady. Talk about, first of all, being able to say, hey, can I do cross-country and soccer? That's not easy to pull off. How were you able to do it?
Well, my coaches, both Mr. Sobe and Coach Kelly for soccer, they were both willing to let me do both and make the time. And I was lucky that most of my soccer games weren't on Wednesdays when cross-country meets were, and then my practice schedules when I didn't have games worked around the meets, so I was able to do both.
Well, it's great that you had the coaches that were willing to do that at the same time.
Yeah.
You had to put in the work and talk about that decision, whether you talk to your folks or you just kind of said, hey, I'm going to try this, and the support you get from them.
Yeah, well, my parents thought it was a good idea because I like to run and I wanted to still play soccer, but I wanted to try this year. And like on the weekend, I'll run on my own, but I mainly use soccer conditioning as my training for cross country.
And boy, I'll bet you that helps with soccer, being as fit as you are.
Yeah.
Talk about what it's like. Does it feel like, wow, this is nothing?
Yeah, well, it helps because like some games I don't really play that much because we're killing a team, or others where I play a lot more, so I have to have a lot more energy to keep up because I play mid, so I have to run up and down the field.
How about taking care of your body, making sure you're eating right, all those little things? Talk about being you and then making sure, I'm sure your folks are looking after you as well, but just making sure that you have enough energy.
Yeah, well, my mom usually makes us homemade meals, so I'm eating healthy all through the week. And sometimes we'll go out on the weekends, so those are the days that I eat not so good. But then I make sure to drink a lot of water and keep my health up.
Boy, quite a family of athletes. Your brother's pretty darn good as well, and you've been pushed along by your parents who are taking you to club soccer and all those different things.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the competition between you and him.
Well, we get along pretty well. We like to push each other and see who's better at what, and it's just fun because they were very competitive between each other.
And as far as down the road, you're thinking maybe an orthodontist. You're still young, just a sophomore, but talk a little bit about a little dentistry in the family, right?
Yeah, well, my dad's a dentist, so I kind of wanted to go into that, but I didn't want to be a dentist, and orthodontist seems more fun to me. And
class ranked, you're ninth in your class, so you're doing outstanding there. Talk about math, one of your favorite subjects.
Well, it's different. It keeps me thinking. It's very fun to me, so yeah.
Student council?
Yeah, I like to keep up, have something fun to do outside of school, not just sports, and help with the community.
And when you're not doing all these sports you're doing, talk about some fun stuff that you're able to do with your family, whether you're out there watching sporting events or you're going on family vacations.
Yeah, we normally just go to other sporting events, support my friends from other schools, and just go out to dinner or have family time together.
Well, Abby, I congratulate you on being a heck of a student athlete there with soccer and cross country in the fall. Of course, you'll be doing track and field in the spring, so we wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.